Welcome to the Black Business Podcast, where we help Black entrepreneurs, Black business owners, and Black consumers connect their Black dollars. Now, here's your host, Jenny Jones.
Hello, it's great to be with you today. I am your host, Jenny Jones, for the Black Business Podcast. And joining me today is Miss Danielle Price of Sacramento, California. She's with Esessential Beauty Supply Store. Today's show is brought to you by the $5marketinggarage.com, where all of your online digital marketing needs are met inside the garage. I am super excited. I have been playing phone tag with this young lady for some time now, and I finally was able to catch up with her and have her a guest on the show. She has a very busy schedule, as most entrepreneurs should, right? But I'm glad she was able to join us today on the Black Business Podcast, where we connect entrepreneurs, small businesses, and consumers with their black dollars. Without further ado, please welcome to the show Miss Danielle Price of Esessential Beauty Supply Store. Welcome to the show, Miss Lady.
Thank you. Thank you. Glad to be here.
Hey, I am glad we had an opportunity to catch up. This has been quite a journey. We had COVID and we got all these other things going on. We got the social distancing and all of that. But listen, as I do with all my guests, once I bring them on the show, I says, hey, let's go to the 47th floor and let's have a discussion. You and I both get on the elevator together and I'm gonna say, hey, you know what, Miss Lady, how are you doing today? What do you do?
Well, I will tell you, I am an entrepreneur and I run a beauty supply store. I will tell you that is a difficult task, but it's amazing.
Oh, okay. So it's a difficult path, you said? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Well,
a difficult path.
Well, as soon as you said beauty supply, I'd already assumed it was going to be some type of difficult path because it's not an easy entry into that field. And but you were able to do it. So first of all, I applaud you because I only want unicorns on the show. I only want people that says, man, I didn't know they existed. I didn't know there was a Black beauty supply store in Sacramento. So tell me, I don't want to get too much into it because I don't want to make the show about the difficult path. I want to make it about, how the grow and how we can help you. But listen, tell me one thing, at least. Let's start off with what was the most difficult thing and that you feel such a sense of accomplishment outside of opening it. But what was one of the difficult things in your path and one of the most difficult obstacles?
The most difficult obstacle I would say is getting accounts. Accounts.
So when you say you mean getting suppliers or?
Yes, because we African-American women, we love our hair.
Right.
And I will tell you that is one of the most difficult accounts to get. However, it is doable. It is doable with a lot of persistence.
Oh, I see. So all these accounts, they want our money, right? They want us to spend money to buy their products and stuff, but they want to make it hard man, that's a cold game.
It is. You'd be surprised.
But I applaud you because you were able to overcome that. And what we need to do in our community is we need to support you, right? And I think we'll talk about a little bit later. We'll talk about maybe how other people can support you that's not even in Sacramento. We'll get into that a little bit later because I know you guys are doing some things and you got some things up your sleeve there. But so talk to me about this journey of entrepreneurship. So I think you've been in business for, how long you been in business?
Actually, we opened our doors a little over a year ago.
Okay.
Right before COVID.
Okay.
So that was also our other challenge because we opened our doors. I would say we were working on opening our doors about 2 years prior to that, but we actually opened our doors to the public maybe 6 months before COVID hit. Okay. And right at that point when we were building and developing, getting ready to have our little customer appreciation, and they shut the world down.
Wow. Okay. So, but you got that Black girl magic. That didn't just stop your juice, right? What did you go into? What did your mode say? I'm gonna see if you're gonna pass your first entrepreneur test right here so everybody can see you. what was the first thing went in your mind? What was the first thing? What did you do?
First thing I said was, how am I going to continue to serve our company, our customers? Because the thing is, even though the world shut down, we still got to look good. We still want to look good. We still need to wash our hair. We still need to, do our dreads. We still need to put a little makeup on because we need to look good for, our next of kin, our beau, So I said, what do I need to do to make sure that this continues to happen? And I need to make sure that I was essential, because I was the only people that were allowed to stay open was essential workers. So we started selling masks. We were the ones that were selling gloves because everybody wanted gloves.
Man,
Nobody
shut
thought,
your mouth, man. Is that so? Listen, so I'm gonna tell you right now, you passed the first test.
okay,
Because as an entrepreneur, you like, oh, no. That's not finna go down. And I appreciate that. So what you say is, listen, we're going to get creative. So you say we start selling masks. Tell me about that. Man, what? Woo, you passed. I love that. I put you on the spot and you passed. So tell me what did that look like? What did you do? You was like, man, listen. So go ahead.
First thing you got to do is you got to say, okay, even though everybody else is saying we need masks, we can't find masks, everybody running around getting toilet paper, I'm looking at, all right, how do I get some gloves? How do I get masks? The first thing I hit was Google. Let's go. Let's hit my vendors. They're saying, we have them. I said, send them to me. Send me what you got. Send me what I can get.
Wow.
And then I started talking to the neighborhood as people were walking by, because we're in the same plaza of a grocery store. So as people walking by, I'm like, look for masks, look for gloves. We got them. We put them in the window. We got them.
Man, you messing me up right now. I mean, because that is a genuine hustle game. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Because you like, listen, if that's what we got to do to keep our doors open, right? If that's what we got to do to pay our rent, our overhead, right? I applaud you. Man.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Danielle, okay. So listen, I have a newfound level of respect for you. So listen, so how did this idea come about of trying to just open a beauty supply? Because you and I both know it's like, listen, that's a huge hurdle, right? Because they got the game sold up. But where did the idea come from? Because you already knew going into this game, you're like, listen, I'm gonna have to roll my sleeves up. So where did that idea even come from?
Well, I mean, like everybody else, you always have, some type of a side hustle. And I used to slang little things at the back of the car, like, the rappers or whatever.
That's how you come up. That's
where you start.
Yeah.
And then just going into beauty supply stores, I understand me going in there and not really knowing what I need to do with my hair and not really knowing what's the best product. And all you hear is, oh yeah, that's good. That works. Oh, that's good. Just get that. That works.
So these are the people, these are the people behind the counter. Oh yeah. But they not knowing. For one, they're not African American. Is that fair? So you ain't African American. How you really know what I need on my dreads? And you can't even grow dreads.
Exactly.
So you put two and two. But listen now, hold on now. Everybody, I mean, now my wife done sent me to the store to get stuff, right? And I'll be like, I'm gonna take a picture of it. I'm gonna say, is that what I need? So I don't even know. So how do they know? Right. How do they know?
Right.
But
that's the difference. See, I care. I know. A lot of the products that I sell, a lot of products that I don't need to sell, but I know other people buy. I've used them at some point in my life. I have used them either on myself, my sister, my granddaughter. I've used them.
Okay. Wow. So everybody knowing this, right? Everybody knowing this in our community, what made you decide to do something about it?
I've always been an entrepreneur, and my first career is nursing. So I'm a nurturer.
Okay.
Instantly, I care about people. I care about others. I have a genuine concern for the next man.
Okay.
And by me having that experience, it made me even more determined to say, hey, I need something that I missed out on, and I want to give back to my people. I want to give back to women of color. I want to give back to those who are in natural hair, because everybody's going natural now.
Right.
And you really need to understand that. And since I'm the person who does natural hair
Okay.
myself,
Uh-huh.
I understand the product. So I started doing my research, started doing my homework. It's been years in the making. I will tell you, it's been years in the making.
Okay. Okay. All right. Man, that's so, let me tell you something funny. Right. So let me give you another test. I'm serving up all these tests. What was the first thing? I've never did this on the show before, but you brought it up. What was the first thing that you sold and said you got the entrepreneur bug from? What was the first thing?
The
Legally.
first the first thing I sold, you talk about for the store or
No,
period?
no, just in general. How do you get everybody gets an entrepreneur bug, right? And
Yes.
so legally, right? Because we know Jay-Z passed, right? He a billionaire right now, but what's the first thing you say, oh, this is what's that first thing?
Oh, legally?
Yeah, let's stay with legally. let's stay with legally. You want me to tell you mine first so I can bail you out real quick and
Okay,
give you time to
yes,
think about it?
please.
All right, so let me bail you out. That's funny. I hit her with that question. She was able to answer the toughest question about an entrepreneur, but she can't answer the first thing she sold legally. So listen. All right, so that was funny. All right, so listen. My mom used to work at Ghirardelli Chocolate, right, in
Okay.
San Francisco. In San Francisco, they got a big factory and all that down in San
Yeah.
Francisco. And so we was growing up in the projects, right? We were growing up in Hunters Point, right? In Bayview Hunters Point. And so my mom used to bring home day old chocolate.
Okay.
They should throw it out, right? And there's another story. We used to go, and there used to be some licorice factories downtown San Francisco that we would go to, and we said anyway, but that's a whole nother story. This is the entrepreneur bug, right? And so she would bring home these boxes of chocolate, they day old, right? I would get the chocolate, and I would be on the back of the school bus moving them. You know what I'm saying? I was back there straight moving them, right? And that's the entrepreneur bug. You're like, listen, if I can get them for a quarter, I can move them for $1, or I can move 50 cents. I got a good profit margin going on. So that was my first, and I just wanted, it lights up in your eyes when you remember that kind of stuff. And that's where I first got the bug of that. And so now I'm gonna turn the question back to you again.
You know what? And
You got it now?
And honestly, when you said that, as soon as you said Ghirardelli's chocolate, I remember junior high school. I slang candy. I was the candy girl in junior high school because where I grew up in Carson. There was a Crown Drugs.
Okay.
And it was basically a pharmacy, but it had candy, and it had this whole candy aisle. But at the end of the month, they would give away candy after hours.
Okay.
Just give it away because,
couldn't sell it. They had a shelf life. Probably had a shelf life, right?
Right.
Okay.
I'd get it. And I'd be at the school, and I'd be slanging that candy.
She say slang it. I don't know if I like the way you say slang it, because you keep using that. So listen. So back then, now that we actually have these businesses, right?
Yes.
Do we know how much liability we had back then?
No, we didn't. We didn't.
We moving day old candy. We moving shelf life candy, right?
Somebody got a stomach ache. We didn't know about it.
Right, straight liability. But that's the fun of it. I mean, and you was gonna get a pass at that age, right?
Yep.
We can't do that right now. So listen. So what is your first lesson that you learned in really running your own business? You're like, oh, well, what's your first lesson, you think?
First lesson I learned was there's a lot of legal regulatory things that you have to know, and you have to make sure you have lined up. Because like you said, when you're doing things just kind of haphazardly, you feel like you're in business, you're doing it the right way. But when something happens, you, like you said, you're liable. And if you don't have the right things lined up, you don't have your systems in place, you don't have your policies, you can be in big, deep trouble. And so I realized that in my first business that I actually was a true entrepreneur was doing gift baskets, gourmet gift baskets.
Okay.
And that business grew, and it had perishables. And not realizing that you have your staples that you automatically put in your baskets all the time, but then you have those that they have a stale date, they have a sell by date, they have a expiration. And I remember taking a basket to one of my customers, delivering it, and didn't think anything, dropped it off. They sent me the little, nice little text message saying, oh, how wonderful the basket was. They loved it. About 4 days later, I get a call saying, hey, we went to open up one of these, I think it was sausage, the little Moscow sausage. To open that up, it was expired.
Wow.
I didn't think anything of it, because this is just put it together. You have your little basket set up, ready to go. Just like when you see them on Easter, sitting on the side of the road. They got these little baskets with the bunnies in it and got the little candies and stuff in there. You don't think twice about that. You don't think about there's stuff in there that expires. And so that was the first wake-up call for me.
And so, and even in the business you're in now, I'm pretty sure it's heavily regulated. It's funny because I always teach people, I throw up all these random things that I've done in my life. And I used to have a barber's license, right?
Okay.
And I had a barber's license in the military. So, I was killing them, right? And that's how I be thinking. I'm like, okay, I'll do the military during the day, get off and go grind on the weekends or in evenings, do the barbershops. And it taught me a lot. And so I remember when I first went to barber college and we was like, yeah, we about to cut some hair. There's like, you not cutting no hair. You not cutting hair for at least 3-4 months. It's like, what do you mean? It's like, all of your lessons is going to be on sterilization and sanitation. I was like, I didn't come here for that. I came here to learn how to cut. It's like, nah. And those are the things that we don't, from the outside of a person's not in a business or even for your business, it's a lot more. Everybody, all these young entrepreneurs out of here, oh, I'm going to roll out of bed. I'm going to be, I'm rolling out of bed. I'm going to be this tomorrow. No, you're not. You better do your research. You need to learn the licenses and the regulations that you have to go through, because you could be in business. I had my biggest scare, right? And since we're on a topic, and this show is not about me, it's about us trying to grow by sharing through conversation,
right?
Where we can help other young entrepreneurs or other small business owners. But I got my first scare when I had an auditor show up. No, they called me and they said, listen, we're going to be there Monday. And I'm like, today, Friday. And they were coming to audit my books and all of that, right? And I was like, and I really literally just lost it, right? My wife was like, what's wrong with you? What's going on with you? And really I panicked, but I said, as long as I went back to what do I need and what they taught me when I first started my investment practice.
Yes.
And I had to go back to my fundamentals, but I did freak out and I passed the audit, but they was asking a lot of questions. They was like, well, where is this at? Where is that? I'm like, oh, that's right here. They're like, all right, right here. And then they said, well, where that's at? I say, I'll get that for you tomorrow. Right. So they was at my office for 3 days. Yes. Right. And I'm just, so those are the things you have to go through. So, and really some of the most lucrative businesses that you can go into are really some of the most highly regulated. right?
Yes.
And so,
Yes.
tell me a little bit about that. Tell me what you got on that. Is it, as far as, yeah.
Yes. Well, you are absolutely right when it comes to that, because I will tell you, December 29th of last year, the last Friday before the new year,
Mhm.
the state of California walked in my doors and they
Right.
said, "Where's your business license? Is it posted?" They didn't tell me they were coming. I and the sad part is it had just fallen off the wall about a week before that, and I set it on my desk in the back office and said, "Oh, I'll get to it later. I'll put it up." Of
Mm.
course, when he showed up, I couldn't find it nowhere.
Wow.
But luckily, being that new business, they knew I wasn't expecting them. They overlooked it and said, "We'll send you another one. The next time we come back, it needs to be up and it needs to be posted." You'd be fine for that. You know, when you have employees, you have to go through Department of Unemployment, the unemployment office. You got to deal with EDD. You
Right, you
have
gotta have certain things posted.
Yeah, you have to have certain posters posted saying what their rights are. I mean, it's your business, but they have rights and they need to be, it has to be posted to let them know what their rights are. You have to have certain insurances to cover if somebody come in there and, you know, slip and fall because you done wasted some conditioner on the floor or
Oh
something.
Lord, yes.
I mean, California is full of lots of regulatories anyway, but every state has its own rules and regs that you need to follow, and you need to know. And they don't tell you. It's when they show up, they expect you to already know. So you have to do your homework.
I think you said a mouthful right there, and I think people think, and I keep saying this. The reason why is because I keep seeing all these businesses pop up online, right? Uh, Ray Ray's Booty Cream and stuff like that, right? I'm being funny, but I'm not being funny, right?
Right.
And people don't know that there's so many liabilities behind that. Um, Really, you can personally, oh, I'm doing that until I grow and scale. You can kind of get yourself in trouble before you even get an opportunity to even actually grow and scale
Yes.
by just not knowing. You can't just, I think some people think you can, like I said, my famous line is you can't just roll out of bed and be in business. So let me ask you this, with you knowing all these regulations, with you knowing how regulatory California is, what gets you up in the morning to do this? As difficult as it is dealing with suppliers and people not want to sell to you because, for one, you're of color, and then two, you're a woman, right? So actually you're a woman first, right? And then you're of
Yes.
color, right? So I'm going to put that in
Yes.
there. So what gets you up out of bed in the morning to do this?
My customers.
Okay.
My customers. I will tell you, I love my customers when they come in and they're appreciative of the fact that I talk to them. My employees, we talk to them. We don't just stand there. We don't just eyeball them when they come in the door.
Are you
We
saying that's the
actually
no?
talk
Are
to
you
them
saying
and
that's
have a
the?
conversation.
Are you saying that's the normal practice when we go in beauty supply stores?
What?
What you just said. We don't stand there. We don't watch them. Please don't take nothing. Right? You know where I was going with that.
At one point Walmart had all of our stuff behind the glass.
I think they still got it, right? In some
No,
areas, or
no,
did they make?
no, because they got so much publicity that they done pulled it from behind the glass. But
Okay.
they had put our stuff behind the glass because, of course, we steal. So they
Right.
put it behind the glass.
So do we steal, or do other people steal to make it look like we steal? There's no proof in that. I don't even want to start this conversation down that road. But anyway, so is
There's a
that
bad apple in every bunch.
there's a
Put
bad
it like
apple,
that.
right? I really need to get my stuff done, right? And I ain't got the money. Right. So wow. So you have this store now. So tell me about the store a little bit as we kind of bring this to a close. what do you like most about the store? And then tell us about some things you have coming up and as far as trying to expand the store and do some different things. So what do you like most about your store?
What I like most about my store is the fact that it's a very welcoming atmosphere.
Okay.
We pride ourselves in being open and available to our customers, as well as other small business entrepreneurs who are out there developing their own products. We have a barber line in there from a local barber who has his own barber line, and we allow him to bring his products in the store to help him
Stop
grow.
right there. Stop right there. So there's a barber that you guys have partnered with. He says, "Hey, I want to start selling my products here." He buy them wholesale and you sell them. So how did that happen? I mean, how did that? I mean, you don't have to give me the nitty gritty details, but I think that's fascinating.
Yeah, he was a customer. He had come in a few times, to get his barber supplies because we sell to barbers and stylists. He was coming to get some cool care, whatever they use, when they tightening up your little fro. And he had been in there a couple times, and he said, I have a barber line that I sell out of my store, and I'm trying to grow my business. And he said, would you be interested? Well, I mean, why not?
Right. Let's
Why
see what you
not?
got.
So
Let's see what you
we
got.
sat down and we talked logistics, and
Okay.
he all about his business, and I I I would be, because he had his stuff lined up and he had everything the way he needed to have it. He didn't just come in here and say, "Oh, can I just put this up here?" And it was some fly by night stuff.
Can I get
He
the
had
hookup?
all of his licensures and everything, and I'm like, local business, why not? We can collaborate.
I love that. You Danielle, you are starting to grow on me as a real true blue entrepreneur, and I
Appreciate it.
appreciate that. And you're reaching back, which I think is very important for entrepreneurs. I know that was the mission, and me starting this podcast was to help others. I've been in the game for a minute, right? I know how you should be structured. I know I didn't seen them right. I seen the regulators come through. I didn't seen, so it's a lot of things that a new entrepreneur or a person says, I don't have to go to school. I don't have to go to college, right? So I'm gonna just start my own business, right?
Hmm.
And what they fail to realize is some of the things that they do miss out, even if it's just junior college, you miss out on trying to learn how to do your books and watching your overhead and all that and your square footage of your beauty supply store. I think, so tell me a little bit about that. I don't know if you went to school, or I don't know what kind of background you have, but tell me about some of the things you had to learn about as far as doing your books and keeping up with the paperwork side of the business.
Well, I did, not knowing that I was going to get into this, as a true calling of mine.
Uh-huh.
I did go to school. I got
Uh-huh.
a degree in accounting.
Okay.
I have a
Okay.
degree in business management.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
so I have studied business entrepreneur and did that little certification, started in that path of business certifications
Right.
and
Right.
all of that.
Uh-huh.
Um, but it still doesn't prepare you for the doors. There are
Yes.
doors that you're going to run into.
Okay. Okay.
As much education, and I am a proponent for education, but
Right.
there are doors that does not prepare you for. And so it's a learning curve. It's a learning process. Definitely.
Well, I mean, and that takes us to our last kind of uh, few minutes here, and the reason why I think the creation of the Black Expo is so important, because it's a panel. We're going to have a panel discussion for the new young entrepreneurs. We want them to be able to ask us questions about aspiring entrepreneurs who want to start their own business in 2021. The Black Expo is on December 4th and the 5th, but one of the things, like you said, you can go to school all day long, right? You're going to get that
Yes.
book knowledge. They're going to give you the book knowledge. They're going to give you, accounting is accounting. It ain't going to change, right? You got the credits and debits, right? You got the assets, liabilities, owner's equity, right? So
Right.
that's not going to change, right? But it's the understanding real life things that are happening inside business, right? That nobody can really prepare you for. And when I was an instructor, when I taught grad schools, I would tell the students, I said, listen, the book is telling you this, but let me tell you what really happens, right? And my students were like, man, Mr. J, you just keep, listen, I don't want you to go out there, get your head split open to the white meat, right?
Right.
Because that's what's going to happen when you open your doors. People just, it's like, yeah, you got a tax bill that's going to come due, right? You got to pay your taxes, keep your doors open. So there's a lot more things that come with that. So I'm excited that you're going to be a part of the Black Expo coming up on December 4th and 5th. You have a promotional, do you have your promotional code? You want to share that, or you want to?
Yes, I have a promotional code. If you're interested and you want to join us at the Black Expo, it is Price,
Okay.
my promotional code.
So,
And there's a lot of little tidbits of information that's going to be presented. There's opportunities potentially for, mentorship or some things of that sort, to where you can get some knowledge about how to go about the ins and outs of being your own business person, businessman, businesswoman, being a business person, how to get in it, how to keep
okay.
it going, how to
Okay.
build, how to grow,
You got some secret
get your
juice?
foot in the
You got
door.
some secret juice that you're gonna share from inside your store? Is there some secret juice that we can buy that you're gonna be able to share with us? You're gonna be able to share some secret juice with us at the expo, so we can use your promo code, and we're gonna be able to get the secret juice. Now that's Price, right? PRICE, right?
PRICE. Yes.
Oh
Like the price
man,
is right.
okay. I can't wait. I kind of got a little glimpse of what you're gonna do. I'm excited. If they show up, if you
You
guys
need,
show up for this expo,
need to
you guys
show
are gonna
up.
get it. And you guys are gonna learn a lot of stuff. Use our promotional code, Price. Danielle, man, it's been a good time. Just to listen, reminisce, talk about business. When I get so excited when I bring guests on here, because it allows me to think about growing and where I was in my infancy over 20 years ago, and just putting this thing together. And I love the fact that we're able to bring together a platform that people can learn and grow from.
Absolutely. We appreciate it. We need it. We need it. We got to look out.
Okay.
Definitely.
So listen, where can we find you? What's your hours? I mean, do you got a website? You got IG? What you got? Lay it on us. What you got,
Well, we
sister?
have a website. We're in the finishing process of getting it to where you can order online. However, we got a lot of people who will go on there and see what we do have to offer. They will call us. So our website is Essential Beauty Empire, ESSENTIAL, beautyempire.com. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram. You can find us on Yelp, Essential Beauty Empire. So look us up. Our hours, we're open Tuesday through Saturday right now because of COVID, 11 to 7, Pacific Standard Time. We are available at 916-619-8996. And ask for Danielle, ask for Chris. You can talk to any of us. We'll talk back.
Wow, I'm excited. Now I'm gonna have to turn my wife on to you, right? Because she's doing the braids and stuff a lot. I mean, she calls it, that's her low maintenance, right?
Right.
And so she does natural, but she does low maintenance braids and stuff. She'll do the braids and stuff. So I'm gonna tell her about you guys. We're gonna get this hooked up. And you're not that far from us, so we're gonna definitely be doing that. I'm gonna come down there and meet you as well.
Absolutely.
So I'm excited, man. I'm happy for you. You out here doing it, and reach out to the show at any time. See what we can do to try to get you going. And and we'll go from there. So listen, it has been great having you here on the show. Any words, any parting words of wisdom that you have for our guests, whether it be a small business, whether it be an entrepreneur, whether it be a small business owner, or whether it be a consumer? Any parting words of wisdom from Ms. Danielle Price?
So for the consumers, I would say support your small businesses. You know, don't always think that they're more expensive because they're a small business. That's not necessarily the truth. We try to be very competitive. But the small businesses, they do need your support. As far as our entrepreneurs out there, keep your head up, stay focused, and there's going to be obstacles, but we can do that. We can move forward. We can come together. We can do it. It's just one foot in front of the other. Stay positive, stay strong.
Okay. Listen, that has been a good word. We're going to end it on that. Listen, you guys, hey, we're on YouTube. Look us up, the Black Business Podcast. You can search us, right? We're still a small channel trying to grow. You can find us in the podcast. It's the Black Business Podcast.com. Oh my goodness. And you can find out more about our Black Expo, which is Black Business Online Expo. You're going to find out a little bit more about that. We have a lot of things coming. You guys have not seen anything yet.
Don't forget to use the promo code PRICE.
Y'all use our promo code, right? And so, she got a little surprise for you. Use that promo code.
Got a little surprise for you.
Also, next year, 2021, if I even told you what was going to happen, what I have planned for this show, you wouldn't even believe me. It is a whole nother level. I'm bringing us together. I can assure you, you have not seen what's going to happen. Right? So stay tuned, like us on Facebook, right? And you guys follow us. Hey, this has been your boy, Jenny Jones. And we have Danielle Price here. What's the name of it again?
Esessential Beauty Empire.
Okay. I didn't want to butcher it, y'all. Y'all take care. God bless. Peace.
Thank you for listening to the Black Business Podcast, where we help Black entrepreneurs, Black business owners, and Black consumers connect their Black dollars. Hosted by Jenny Jones. If you like what you heard, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our podcast. If you want to learn more about all our podcast guests and spend your Black dollars with them, visit our online store at shopblackbusinesspodcast.com.